As Manitoba's election day draws nearer, the political parties are gearing up for one last push and a final weekend to try and convince Manitobans they are worthy of their vote. Mary Agnes Welch is principal with Probe Research. She joins us now. Mary Agnes, thank you for taking the time today.
My pleasure.
Now, it's been said that the election is Wab-Kinew and the NDP's to lose. But, you know, when one looks at the numbers right now, the spread does not appear to be that large. So how are things looking right now with 5 days left in this campaign?
Yeah, I think that the spread in Winnipeg, which is kind of the battleground kind of area, especially suburban Winnipeg, the spread is actually fairly big. You know, it's kind of in the double digits. The problem, though, is the NDP's kind of their vote isn't very efficient. It's really in the downtown, kind of in the north end. They really need to win those classic suburban ridings, and those are still pretty closely fought races. Okay,
closely fought, as you say, and you know too that we know that the Manitoba PCs, they did pay for a full-page ad in yesterday's Winnipeg Free Press. We have it here for people to look at. It highlights Wab-Kinew's past criminal charges and other candidates who the PCs say are wild cards if Manitobans vote for them. Why that ad now? Is it a sign of desperation or an indication of where the party might still build support?
Yeah, the word desperation has been bandied about a fair bit in the last couple of days. I think really the Tory strategy throughout this campaign has been about just shoring up and solidifying and getting out their core vote, which I think, you know, they're hoping is just enough to put them over the edge and into just a bare majority territory. That's not what the polls seem to say is being very successful. And I think this last week of the campaign, those negative ads that are, and even billboards in the city about the landfill issue and searching the landfill, have kind of rubbed perhaps swing voters and the few undecideds that are out there perhaps the wrong way. But it is about really galvanizing that core vote that they hope is going to be just enough.
Well, you mentioned, sadly, the landfill situation, and I want to put up here another ad for people at home because there was another advertisement that the party ran last weekend. It really doubled down on the PC's decision to deny paying for the search of 2 Indigenous women whose bodies may have been dumped at the Prairie Green landfill. How has that issue played out in this campaign? Has it been to the benefit of the Manitoba PCs?
The polling shows that Manitobans are somewhat split on this issue, and we have nuanced views. You know, it is an expensive proposition. There's not a massive sort of chance that a search of the landfill will be successful. And so there's a chunk of voters who think that that's just maybe not going to be a priority when it comes to missing and murdered women. On the flip side, there's very vocal and very personal views that we have to search the landfill. It's a must-do. But the Tories have really sort of staked this last week of the campaign, particularly, on this kind of this wedge issue, unfortunately. And it is very much a values issue. It's sort of a bit of a moral one. But I think they do believe that there is a tranche of voters who really kind of draw the line at the landfill search, for better or worse.
Now, we know that historically that, in particular in the Winnipeg area, if Liberals do well, the Conservatives can come up in the middle and essentially solidify a government. Are the Liberals something the NDP needs to watch out for this time around?
You know, I think that it's almost the reverse that's true. I think the Liberals really are at risk of getting if not wiped out, but like really badly damaged in this upcoming vote. The NDP has just been absolutely single-minded about going after that Liberal vote as like the 5-10% that they need in each of those really battleground ridings.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, quickly running out of time, but, you know, as you're talking here, it seems that very much the ground game that the parties run on election day to get the vote out is what we need to be watching out for come Tuesday.
Totally. I mean, the ground game's always kind of the unsung important thing of a campaign, but in this one, it's hugely important. Like, we're starting to pay attention to like who's got the really great campaign managers, who's got a really veteran core of door knockers who are going to pull that vote. I think there is kind of maybe 4 or 5 ridings where this could come down to a few hundred, 400, 500 votes. So it is really about that ground game in the last few days here.
Well, we will be in Winnipeg for Election Day, and I know Mary Agnes, you and I will be speaking on that day, so I look forward to that. But until then, thank you for this. Really appreciate the time.
My pleasure.